this time, I remind everyone to check to make sure that your cell phone is on silent or turned off. I ask that we all take a moment and reflect and pray for all the families, school officials, and citizens in the Texas town of Uvalde as they begin the healing process from the loss of this past week's tragedy. May God bless them and be with them during this very difficult time. I want to also take a moment and recognize 3 individuals that have not only made an impact on the 100 or so students sitting in front of us today, but thousands of students over the past 25 years. Jennifer Benson, inclusion teacher, Jeffrey DeCesare, music education teacher, and Laura Elder, English teacher. As these 3 individuals have affected the lives of several South Range students, they have also provided leadership, established traditions, acted as a voice for many students, and most importantly, would do anything for the students they served in our school. Congratulations on your well-deserved retirement. Thanks for being wonderful educators and colleagues, as well as positive role models for all the students and staff here at South Range. I'd like to give those 3 individuals a nice round of applause. Before our ceremony begins, I would also like to recognize all individuals that have served our country in any capacity of the military. Please stand and be recognized for your service and sacrifice. Thank you for your dedication to our country and to our individual freedoms. At this time, I would ask everyone to stand. Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. You guys can sit. At this time, I would ask Camden Thomas to come forward to give the senior class address.
Growing up a Raider, I've been extremely blessed. I've been fortunate enough to attend South Range for all 13 years of my formal education. And though I haven't experienced any other community other than this one, I know from what I've heard from students who have come here from other schools or from teachers that This culture at South Range is truly unique. So what is South Range? What makes it so special? South Range is Mr. Yeagley greeting you in the morning when you walk through the halls. South Range is Mr. Munson's unmistakable voice over the loudspeakers on Friday nights. It's Mr. Allegretto having the best decorated door every Christmas, but Mr. Landry somehow winning the award. It's stressing over whether or not your regatta boat is going to sink while Mrs. Elder searches to see if you've used any Flex Seal. South Range is Mr. DeCesare promising one more time, but then having you play 8 more times. It's having one of the Freedies drive the bus home after a hard-fought win. It's Mrs. Berkey helping you out at the annual class meeting when you forget your Naviance password for the 3rd time. South Range is Mr. Rowan's booming yells carrying down the halls and into the ears of stragglers late to class or to boys with hats on. All of these nostalgic moments are part of what makes our school so unique and the community so close. But each one of these memories that set South Range apart that I just mentioned emanate a value or trait that is essential to being a Raider. Mr. Yeagley showed his thoughtfulness and attentiveness when he greeted you every morning. Mr. D showed his pursuit of excellence when he asked you to play that excerpt one more time. The Freedies showed their generosity as their smiles welcomed you onto the bus, brightening the mood after a loss or elevating the ecstasy of a big win. Mr. Rowan, though it may be irritating for some of you, wanted your hat off because he feels it is a sign of respect. All of these qualities, thoughtfulness, excellence, generosity, respect, and many more, have been surrounding us for these past 4 years by our teachers and faculty. And they've rubbed off onto us. These traits that we've been observing and absorbing don't just apply to being a Raider. They are essential to being a great future roommate, employee, spouse, or parent. We have been equipped with all the tools we need to go out into the world, and that whatever we do, we'll do it well. Soon, when our caps have been thrown and we walk out these doors, we're all going to go our separate ways. Some will go into the workforce, some will go off to college, some will go into the military. Wherever you go, though, the values you learned here as a Raider will always be with you. The times you spent here will never be forgotten. Being Raiders, we've been surrounded by so many wonderful people these past 4 years of high school. South Range is a family. I remember Friday nights back at the old stadium when I'd roll down the big hill, play jackpot, and high-five all of the sweaty football players who were Goliaths compared to my 3'6" David-esque body. I looked up to them as if they were celebrities. All throughout our years here, we've had incredible role models to look up to and to gather wisdom from. Now we are going off into the real world. No more vouchers, no more of my mom packing my lunch every day and putting seasonal napkins for whatever holiday was closest. No more C's waffles on a hot Saturday morning after practice. Wherever you go, take all that you've learned here and be that role model for others. Take the Raider spirit and apply it to everything you do. I encourage you to find a community as loving as this one and find the people that make you feel as safe as you felt during your time here at South Range. Thank you.
Out of the park, Cam.
I'd like to introduce Mrs. Bethany Carlson for the presentation of the class.
Welcome, everybody. On behalf of the Board of Education, President Brian Bagwell and Vice President Amy White, Shelley Colucci, Elizabeth Johnson, Terry Lally, and our Treasurer Mario Nero Jr., our administrative staff, and all the staff here at South Range, I welcome everybody to our commencement ceremony. I would like to take a moment to thank Mr. Pagnotta and his custodial crew, Ms. Berkey, Mr. Rowan, for transforming this gym into the ceremony place that we have here today. I would also like to thank the staff who is here today helping support all of the families, the students, and ensuring this goes off with a success. Lastly, I would like to thank Mr. Tim Parks for donating the flowers in front of us here today. It's always great to see a community effort bring this ceremony together. To the graduating class of 2022, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to your graduation ceremony. Today we celebrate the success of this class. The senior class has already earned countless college credits and been awarded over $1.6 million in scholarships. Your contribution to our school the last 4 years has been tremendous. You were state qualifiers in areas such as cross country, softball, speech and debate. Over the last 4 years, you have contributed to many league championships, playoff appearances, districts, and regional titles, as well as multiple academic accolades. Beyond the walls of the school, you have also received countless other awards and recognitions. As you graduate today, your future is uncertain. Some of you will become Penguins, Bobcats, Falcons, Bearcats, Redhawks, Buckeyes, Cavaliers, Vikings, and many more. A few of you have chosen to represent our country in the armed forces, and finally, the rest have already identified a career path or a trade that you want to go into. No matter what your path is that you have chosen, remember to always put your best foot forward. Hold your head up high, and remember, you have the entire Raider Nation behind you, here to always support you. This class will always be remembered for me, by your interpersonal characteristics. You are friendly, caring, and supportive of each other. I cannot remember a time that I was not greeted with a smile or a hello when I entered the high school. You displayed grit in your pursuit of academic excellence, and you have resilience when facing challenges and obstacles. You were leaders in the outside of this school, as well as inside for many future graduating Raiders. Your sense of school and community pride were always on display, but most especially through the dedication to rebuild the school spirit at our athletic events. Your determination to engage other students and cheer on your friends did not go unnoticed. Your efforts were greatly appreciated. As I prepared for today, I thought about what I wanted to say to you. What message did I want to provide you? To be honest, I had an idea that stuck with me many months ago. It has been written on a Post-it on my desk for months. If anybody knows me, I don't like leaving things on my desk. So this little tiny piece of paper has sat there for many months, nagging at what I could say to you, but sticking in my head that this was the important message. As I sat down last week to finalize this speech, I reached out to Mrs. Elder. I realized that I did not know your class song, your flower, or your motto. As I read the motto, I started chuckling, and I looked over at my Post-it note sitting there, nagging, wanting to be thrown away, honestly. At that moment, it was clear that what I needed to say. My Post-it message said to you, every day moving forward, you are writing your letter of recommendation. You are instilling a memory in the person who quite possibly may be your next boss, mentor, or even reference for a job. For those of you who may not know, the class of 22 selected the following message from Dr. Seuss. Sometimes you never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. So, to expand on what Dr. Seuss said, I encourage you to know the value of a moment, to always try to leave a positive and lasting impression on others. Remember that making an impression on people is as simple as a handshake, making eye contact, taking a moment to ask how he or she is doing and how their day is going. This class has already made a lasting impression on me by doing just this. As you leave here today, remember the words of Dr. Seuss and the value of each moment with your friends, family, and community. Remember what you do today may make a lasting impression on someone you may need in the future. Make sure that it is a positive one. To the class of 22, today you became Raider alumni. You are graduating at a time when the world needs you most. Go out and make a difference for our community, our valley, our nation, and our world. Do not be strangers, and know you're always welcome back here at the school. Congratulations and best wishes.
Okay, at this time, I would ask Mrs. Elder to take the mic and have our graduates, for the presentation of our graduates. First row, we are ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please be respectful of which student is coming up to receive their diploma, and we ask you to please hold your applause until after all the graduates have been announced. Ready? Eloise Spencer. Clayton Kramer. Julia Gregory.
Elizabeth Page Elder.
Alyssa Renee Tracy. Dakota Lee Quinn. Catherine Elizabeth Sebastian. Dominic Alexander Tuno. Leah Marie Bashani. David Robert Proke. Sydney Jean Handwork. Cooper Nikolai Cleveley. Logan Thomas Cormel. Raymond Albert Samuel IV. Sidonia Ann Spencer. Gavin Matthew Pahanish. Sydney Marie Roadhamel. Corey Matthew Pennick. Julie Ann Ostrowski. Elben Leberec. Jamie Lynn Slavin. Seth Anthony Gavalier. Julia M. Frank. Brian R. Hiram Stanley. Maggie Albaugh. Philip Andrew Naples. Joey Catherine Stebleton. Caden William Sykes. Quest Rose Kamara. Michael Storm Markulin. Angelina Rose Didiano. Ethan Robert Zins. Krista Lynn Borton. Liam Lewis Justison. Kylie Frenger. David Ethan Royal. Alexa Joan Roten. Camden Joseph Thomas. Alexia Ann Sheehan. Connor Jones. Ashley Nicole Johnson. Dylan Michael Dominguez. Sally K. Cecilia Dispenza. Alex Bradley Garwacki. Hannah Rose Ritchie. Caleb Brockett. Marissa Suzanne Malis. Andre Joseph Pagnotta. Lauren Elizabeth Lowry. Jacob David Brooks. Jennifer Nicole Johnson. Parker Lawrence Schuler. Reagan J. Irons. Zachary Donald Smith. Desiree Fitzgerald. Trevor Lawrence Nanishka. Carly Ann Boyd. Bryn B. Laws. Isabella Catherine Less. Braden Chase Johnson. Taylor Madison Smesko. Xander Donald Hall. Olivia Meehan. Stephen Paul Rowan II. Maya Grace Regal. Michael Thomas Lally. Kennedy Ann Allen. Braden Zachary Deal. Finya Yunk. Mark Anthony Naples, Jr. Miranda Plunkett. William Charles Lovitz. Mallory Page Vidman. Aiden James English. Geraldine Marie McCullough. Jake Alexander Matis. Melanie Ann Abend. Brandon Matthew Deal. Shannon Rose Richardson. Quentin John Pugh. Lauren Kennedy Engel. Logan Jean Less. Bailey Carr. Haley Rose Humphreys. Anderson Ray Shope. McKenna Hope McGrath. Hannah K. Kraus. Maya Leanne McCarthy. Hannah Elizabeth Hakenen. Kylie Elizabeth McConnell. Alexis Rose Angus. Allison Paige Sourwine. Alexis Elizabeth Giles. Caledonia Eve Joing. Jersey Jenkins. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to present the South Range High School Class of 2022.
Bryn? Ask him to stand up, Bryn.
Want me to take it? Just hand it to me. Alyssa, I'll take it, honey. I'll take it.
Mr. D, one last time, bud.